It's been a while since we talked about gamer girls with a Z, and I have cracked the code. I've discovered the pick two of gamer girls, where you've got three potential positive attributes, and you can only pick two of them for your gamer girl to exist. It goes like this: she can be attractive, or she can be mentally stable, or she can be someone who plays more than just one random multiplayer game. Two of those three, that's what you get. Sometimes less, incredibly rarely more. You might think it's more common than it is because all the ones who have all three attributes are the ones that get famous. Those are your public examples. Although it's worth mentioning just how many of the ones who seem like they have all three but are actually battling some relatively serious mental issues. It might even be most of them. Now that I think about it, it's been a long time since I've seen someone who didn't have at least one tweet or blog post about some trauma or their depression or an eating disorder. But in the uncultivated wild, diamonds in the rough, and there is plenty of rough. We can go over each attribute starting with attractiveness. Now here's the deal, and before you get mad at me for being mean, know that we're doing this for the dudes too later, and I'm going to be mean to them as well, because life is mean, and statistics are mean, generalizations are mean, subjective truths are often mean. We're going to be mean today. So when I say attractive, I mean above average looking. And the thing about being above average is that most people aren't. Most girls aren't attractive, most guys aren't attractive, most people are average or below. And I do tend to think there are more straight up ugly people than straight up beautiful people. I don't know if the stats bore that one out, but it feels true enough to say. So just by being a human, you're more likely to not be the level of attractive where people are like, damn, you're attractive. And then when you add being a gamer to the mix, you are concocting a recipe with, by and large, more negative than positive ingredients from a probability standpoint. Because while gaming is a very mainstream habit at this point in time, it's still very commonly associated with being an escape for people with social anxiety, low self-esteem, depression, bully victims. Like, there are certain types of people who gravitate toward video games to fulfill some kind of void in their life, whether they can forget about who they are, or get lost in a world that isn't their own, or connect with people over a shared experience. To put it simply, I think gaming is a habit that is more attractive to unattractive people. It's more helpful. It has the resources to be more hospitable. If we live in a very superficial world where people judge books by their cover and worth is often not insignificantly determined by how pleasant you are to look at, and we do, then the people who don't see that worth validated by their peers as often will be more likely to go places where it doesn't matter, namely video games. Gaming is for everyone, but it can do more for those who need it to do more. And that's not even just about looks, but since having good looks makes it easier for you to be accepted, the consistent status of being accepted is going to factor into your emotional health and make you more comfortable in society. Your people skills will improve, you won't constantly feel disappointing, and you won't need the escape that video games provide. It's a strong link between attractiveness and emotional well-being, because attractive people are accepted sooner and are therefore properly socialized at an increased rate with less roadblocks to success because people just like being around them more and are more willing to teach them things or include them in scenarios where they can inadvertently learn things themselves. The guy who gets invited to all the parties learns a lot more about social interaction than the guy who plays Genshin Impact all day. You can still play video games for other reasons, like because they're fun, but by not needing one part of the reason why people play games, it's one less reason to play. Therefore, you're at least a bit less likely to play. So to summarize, being a gamer lowers your general odds of being attractive based on the now less likely to occur circumstances that would have led you to become a gamer in the first place. Got it. My brain hurts from coming up with that, but got it. So let's say you clear the first hurdle and your potential gamer girlfriend is attractive, which actually we should touch on this too. Ladies, being a gamer significantly lowers the bar for how attractive we actually need you to be. I think most people know this. It's like an office romance. If you work with a girl, you've heard people be like, yeah, you know, she's a normal 6, but an office 10. When you get specific about the pool of women you're comparing to, it changes the scales. So like a model might be a regular 9 out of 10 appearance-wise, but in a group of other models might go down to a 7 since the direct competition has changed. Gamer girls, to put it lightly, do not have fierce competition. It's a noteworthy event to see a gamer girl who doesn't eat a stick of butter for dinner or look like she might get caught in a rat trap. But if she's fun to play games with, she might just get caught in our love trap, like Setsuna from Fire Emblem Fates. Still best Fire Emblem waifu, by the way. Petra from Three Houses comes close, but Setsuna will always have my heart in a net. But yeah, you know, looks aren't everything, and being a gamer is such a lifestyle that it can make up for certain lacking areas, although you should try to be attracted to your partner outside of gaming too. Assuming you don't both live in a 24-hour Sword Art Online VR world. In that case, fuck it, I'll date those 1,000-pound sisters on TLC, I don't give a shit. Their avatars will be slim-fit, badass warrior chicks, and I'll pretend I can't hear the fat coming in through the voice chat. So that's attractiveness explained. I'm going to skip mental stability for now because the third attribute is more related to what we just talked about. Dude, if she's hot, there's like a 90% chance that all she plays is either RuneScape or League of Legends or Mario Kart or Call of Duty. One random multiplayer game. Each one is a different type of girl too. The girl who only plays League will cheat on every guy she dates and not even feel bad. She likes male attention and she's more than willing to give it back until she gets bored and moves on. The girl who only plays RuneScape, watch your back. You might find a knife in it. That girl is a psycho and she will share her murder fantasies with you if you ask a distantly related question. The girl who plays Mario Kart is the girl on Tinder who always ends her bio the same way with "can probably beat you in Mario Kart," but she doesn't actually own a console, she just played that shit at her ex-boyfriend's house and let it go to her head when he let her win once. There's also a 40% chance she's Episcopalian or some kind of weird offshoot of Christianity. Mario Kart brings glory to God. The Call of Duty girl is similar to the League of Legends girl, but less independent. She'll also cheat on her boyfriends, but only once each, while simultaneously being super clingy and terrified of him ever leaving her for someone else, so she'll try to monopolize his attention and stop him from playing games with other girls or doing anything when she's not around. All of these girls are hot. As we've touched on, their attractiveness makes it less necessary for them to expand their gaming habits, whereas I've almost never heard of a girl who wasn't hot that still only played one random multiplayer game. She's got more reasons to dig in for the long haul, otherwise she's probably an avid reader. Mental stability. Since one of gaming's functions is as a haven for the dispossessed, you can rightly assume that mental issues are rampant within the community. These include depression, self-harm, low self-esteem, poor body image, severe phobias, paranoia, abandonment issues, disturbing sexual fetishes, identity disorders, etc. They have little to do with attractiveness, since everyone can suffer trauma or be shaped poorly by their environment, but an attractive person who plays video games is more likely to have mental issues than one who doesn't play video games, and I'd also say that if she plays a myriad of games and immerses herself in this lifestyle, it's almost a given that she's carrying some kind of baggage. Like, what girl isn't? I've never been involved with a gamer girl who was like perfectly put together psychologically. That might say more about me than anything else and where your mental state's gotta be in order to find me attractive, but in my experience, however normal they seem on the surface, they've all got something rattling around in their influence and stuff behind the scenes. Every famous girl on Twitch or YouTube has that confessional moment where they open up about their battle with whatever this whole time, usually after their dad dies or some people in chat are mean to them and they end their stream early to go hyperventilate, or when they get caught doing something bad and they use it as an excuse while saying it's not an excuse and then using it as an excuse again. I'm not shaming any gamer girl's struggles, mostly because that would take forever since you've all got them. Some of you are like fucking mermaids and robots, for God's sake. If I tried to shame you, you could just dive underwater or take out your batteries. It's pointless for me to even try. But maybe we could go with high-functioning mental stability as the pick, where people can really seem normal and aren't terribly affected by stuff. So that's your pick 2 for gamer girls. Is attractive, has the convincing appearance of mental stability, and plays more than just one random multiplayer game. Pick 2. If you ever find someone who truly has all three, marry them. You don't just toss that fish back in the water for sport. I've been fortunate enough to have met more than one in my lifetime, and unfortunate enough to have let them go. I've also met a few who could masquerade as 3, but were harboring some deep shit in their psyches, but even that's like, yeah, hold on to that too. As long as you're not in danger or babysitting them, 2 can be plenty. Of course, it goes without saying that some girls only have 1, and I'm sure you'll even meet some 0s in your lifetime. Try to hold out for at least a 2. Now, how about those gamer boys? Gamer boys have a pick 2 trio as well. It's slightly different. The 3 attributes are as follows: is loyal, is emotionally stable, and is hygienic. I threw out attractiveness because girls are better at overlooking that than guys are if they find someone they connect with, and it's not as high on their priority list. And while there are those dudes who like only play Fortnite or Nazi zombies, guys have been accepted as gamers for a lot longer than girls have, so there's solidly less of them on the fringes. Let's do emotional stability first. Emotional stability is different from mental stability in that it's specifically about dudes' abilities to regulate and control their emotions. People who get exceedingly mad about losing or trash talk, throw their controllers, punch walls, and scream. I don't have to tell you these tend to be dudes more than girls. Some of these guys will bring that angst into their relationships and take out their frustrations on their partners, whether physically or verbally, which is verifiable piece of shit behavior. But throwing your controller is fucking pathetic. Even the people who do it know that, and it makes them even madder that they're the type of people who do. Who could be proud of that? It's an objective waste of money for one thing. Controllers are expensive now. You just let an accidental no-scope kill cost you $60 or more. You just flipped the script and added injury to insult. You punched a wall? All that wall ever did for you was keep out the wind and hold up the ceiling. It would be less evil to hit your girlfriend. She's at least probably screwed you over once or twice. That wall has always been there for you. But for real, people in desperate need of a punching bag need to buy one at a sporting goods store and stop bringing them home from bars. Get an object that was made to be hit. Your kids don't count. Another breed of emotionally unstable gamer boy is the kind who excessively seeks validation. He tells you about every stream he's doing for his 30 Twitch followers and expects you to be there and will literally confront you if you aren't. He's the guy who links his stream in the promotion channel of someone's Discord server and then also tells people in the general chat about it, like, ease up bro, if we cared about other people's streams we wouldn't have muted that channel as soon as it was created. He's got a fake positive attitude he uses to mask unplumbable depths of sadness and self-loathing, and it's a facade that cracks 3 times a week at the slightest tap before being hastily barely repaired the next day only to get tapped again whenever anything disappoints him. The dude is hanging by a thread at any given time, and if you're his girlfriend, he fully allows his emotional well-being to become your entire responsibility. It's now your job to keep his suicidal thoughts at bay while you lie and tell him he's not an absolute burden to your whole life. So yeah, find a gamer boy who is emotionally stable. It's probably the most important attribute of the 3. You might be heartbroken if he cheats on you, but at least you only have to worry about keeping yourself alive. Which brings us to loyalty. Gamer boys who have the opportunity do be having an increased chance to sleep around compared to non-gamers, probably because sexual conquest is seen as a total Chad move and exists in the gaming sphere to prove the haters wrong. Like, you thought I was a loser because I played games? Look at all these bitches on my arm. Who cares if I'm breaking my girlfriend's heart? This is about poetic irony, motherfucker. But I've learned from pure conjectural hypothesis that their willingness to cheat depends on what their main game they play is. Call of Duty boys be cheating. Call of Duty boys also be like, hey babe, you're getting in the way of my training sessions with the homies and I don't have time to be distracted by ass and titties right now, so I think we should take some time apart while I try to get to round 50. Fortnite boys also be cheating. That includes Ninja. That man only refuses to be alone with women because he knows himself. He's really working on not making the same mistake twice. You don't create that drastic of a philosophy on a whim. Smash Bros boys be cheatin', usually with underage girls, actually even more often with underage boys, and I have 1,200 hours in Ultimate, so I think I might stop volunteering at middle schools for a while. So who doesn't cheat? I don't know. Disloyalty is a lot more obvious to spot than loyalty. The patterns are more vivid. I've never cheated in an exclusive relationship because I am a good boy who does good things. I think you just gotta roll the dice on that one. Then we have hygiene, the replacement for attractiveness, because if a guy has good hygiene, that can make up for plenty of deficits. I've heard tons of girls say that if a guy just takes care of himself, showers regularly, and dresses well, there are few guys who would still be irredeemable after that. But gaming is an intensive habit, and especially if you're doing long sessions or are particularly excited to get started, you might skip some steps in the personal grooming process. Like, whoa, you want to shower, shave, and brush your teeth? That's an hour you could have spent being a samurai. That sounds way more fun. But if you're going out in public, or are at home with other people who have to be near you, please meet the basic requirements of societal standards and at least not be excessively unpleasant. For every dirty look or direct condemnation you get from one person, there are 100 behind them who silently share the sentiment but are too polite to say anything. What, one guy thinks I smell? Nah, dude, everyone thinks you smell. One guy is enough of an asshole to tell you. So that's the pick 2 for gamer boys. Is loyal, is emotionally stable, is hygienic. Again, you find someone with all 3, keep that shit. Until you find out he's been cheating on you for a year and you realize you only had a 2 the whole time. Bummer. At least hygiene and emotional stability are relatively easy to check. Does he have yellow teeth and cry a lot? Might not be the guy for you. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.